Okay, good morning students. Today class endocrine system, medical and surgical nursing, 8th unit. Already thyroid gland disorders lo hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, gigantism is over. Today we are going to discuss about parathyroid glands. Okay. 4 or more small glands embedded on posterior surface of thyroid gland. These parathyroid glands are situated on the 4 or more small glands. These are 4 or more small glands embedded on posterior surface of the thyroid gland. Each gland is about the size of a grain of rice, weighs approximately 30 milligrams and is 3 to 4 millimeters in diameter. Produces parathormone, that is PTH, regulates calcium and phosphate levels in an inverse relationship. Calcium levels major controlling factor of PTH secretion, that is produces parathormone. Okay, parathyroid glands ante these thyroid glands are 4 or more small glands embedded or situated on posterior surface of the thyroid gland. Each gland is about the size of grain of rice, that is the weights of these parathyroid glands are 30 milligrams and is 3 to 4 millimeters in diameter. These parathyroid glands produces parathormone hormone, that is PTH. They regulates the calcium and phosphate levels in an inverse relationship. Calcium levels major controlling factor of PTH secretion. Then parathyroid glands. This is normal parathyroid gland. Here this is voice box, thyroid gland situated. Then parathyroid glands behind thyroid gland. This is artery, vein, windpipe, that is trachea. Then laryngeal nerve. This is figure about the parathyroid glands. This is normal parathyroid glands. This is where the larynx or voice box is situated. Then thyroid gland, behind thyroid gland, this is posteriorly. Parathyroid glands are situated. Then windpipe, where the trachea is situated, laryngeal nerve. Then what are the functions of parathyroid? Okay, let us know about functions of parathyroid glands. Okay, parathormone, that is the protein hormone from the parathyroid glands, regulates calcium and phosphorus metabolism. Okay, these parathyroid hormones are very important in metabolism of calcium and phosphorus. Then they regulates the calcium and phosphorus metabolism. Okay, parathormone, the protein hormone from the parathyroid gland secretes the parathormone. This parathormone regulates the calcium and phosphorus metabolism. Okay, increased secretion of parathormone results in increased calcium absorption from the kidney, intestine and bones, thereby raising the blood calcium levels. Okay, if these parathyroid glands secretes high levels of or increased secretion of parathormone, it may increase the calcium levels in the kidneys, intestine and bones, thereby the serum calcium levels are very high. Okay, some action of this hormone are increased by the presence of vitamin D. These are the functions of parathyroid gland. Okay, this parathyroid gland secretes parathormone. They regulates the calcium and phosphorus metabolism. Okay, once the parahormone is very high, it results in increased calcium absorption from the kidneys, intestine and bones, thereby raising the blood calcium levels. Okay, some actions of this hormone are increased by the presence of vitamin D. Then, okay, the functions are continued. Parathormone also tends to lower the blood phosphorus level. Excess parathormone can result in markedly elevated levels of serum calcium, a potentially life-threatening situation. Once the serum calcium levels are very high in our blood, it is a situation that will cause life-threatening situation or life-threatening condition. When the product of serum calcium and serum phosphorus rises, calcium phosphate may precipitate in various organs of the body and cause tissue calcification. Okay, when the product of serum calcium and serum phosphorus rises, that is calcium and phosphorus, calcium phosphate may precipitate in various organs of the body and cause tissue calcification. Okay, the serum level of ionized calcium regulates the output of parathormone. Increased serum calcium results in decreased parathormone secretion, creating a negative feedback system. Okay, here functions of for easy to understand what are the functions of parathormone means: low concentration of calcium in blood, okay, release of parathyroid hormone, okay, this efflux of calcium from bone, the decreased loss of calcium in urine, then vitamin D excess, enhanced absorption of calcium from the intestines, lastly increased concentration of calcium in blood. Okay, parathyroid functions ఏమంటే parathormone, it is a protein hormone from the parathyroid glands. They secretes this parathormone. It regulates the calcium and phosphorus metabolism. To regulate calcium and phosphorus metabolism, parathormone is important. Parathormone is a hormone secreted by parathyroid glands. Okay. Once the increased secretion of parathormone results in increased calcium absorption from the kidneys, intestine and bones, thereby raising the blood calcium levels. Once the parathormone hormone secretion is very high, that's calcium absorption may occur from the kidneys, intestine and bones. Okay, once these kidneys, intestines and bones are absorbs this calcium, it may lead to high levels of blood calcium. Okay. Other function is some actions of this hormone are increased by the presence of vitamin D. Then parathormone also tends to lower the blood phosphorus level. Okay, excess parathormone can result in markedly elevated levels of serum calcium. Extremely, if this parathyroid hormone is very high, it may lead to elevated serum calcium. It is a potentially life-threatening situation. Once these calcium levels are very high in our blood, it may lead to create the person situation very worst, or life it make the not create it make the person very worst condition or life threatening situation. When the product of serum calcium and serum phosphorus rises, calcium phosphate may precipitate in various organs of the body and cause tissue calcification. Then the serum level of ionized calcium regulates the output of parathormone. Increased serum calcium results in decreased parahormone secretion, creating a negative feedback system. Okay, functions of parahormone in figure form. Okay, then hyperparathyroidism. Okay, overactivity of one or more of the parathyroid glands is known as hyperparathyroidism. Once the overactivity of single or more of the parathyroid glands may lead to hyperparathyroidism. Incidence: greatest numbers after 60 years, females 2:1, that is 2 female and 1 male. Then hyperparathyroidism. Hyperparathyroidism, which is caused by overproduction of parathyroid hormone by the parathyroid glands, is characterized by bone decalcification and the development of renal calculi containing calcium. Okay, hyperparathyroidism means is caused by overproduction of the parathyroid hormone by the parathyroid glands. Okay, it is characterized by bone decalcification and the development of renal calculi, kidney stones containing calcium. Okay, very important one. Hyperparathyroidism means caused by overproduction or increased secretion of the parathyroid hormone by the parathyroid glands. Okay, it is characterized by bone decalcification and the development of renal calculi containing calcium, that is kidney stones. The hyperparathyroidism classification, that is primary hyperparathyroidism related to secreting tumor of the parathyroid gland. Hyperplasia and adenomas develops when the normal regulatory relationship between serum calcium levels and parathyroid hormone secretion is interrupted. Primary hyperparathyroidism is related to no injury, just a parathyroid gone bad. Okay, hyperparathyroidism classifications వచ్చేసి primary hyperthyroidism is related to secreting tumors of the parathyroid gland, that is hyperplasia and adenomas. Then increased calcium in the kidneys, already we are discussed in previous slide, that is renal calculi or kidney stones. Increased calcium in the small intestines, okay, gastrointestinal upset. Increased bone resorption occurs, this means there is increased bone demineralization, bone damage and osteoporosis. These symptoms are part of what is known as the bones and groans, stones and bones. Okay, increased calcium in the kidneys may lead to renal calculi. Increased calcium in the small intestines may lead to gastrointestinal upset. Increased bone resorption occurs, increased demineralization of the bones, that is bone damage and osteoporosis. Okay, these symptoms are part of what is known as the stones and bones. Okay, very important. Okay, classification of hyperparathyroidism. Primary hyperthyroidism. Primary hyperthyroidism is a secreting tumor of the parathyroid gland, that is hyperplasia and adenomas. Okay, develops, this hyperplasia or adenomas develops when the normal regulatory relationship between serum calcium levels and okay parathyroid hormone secretions. Okay, if the parathyroid hormone secretes para hormone in high levels, it may lead to high levels of serum calcium present in the blood. Okay, this primary hyperthyroidism is not related to no injury. If the person is having injury or no injury, but this primary hyperthyroidism, these tumors are developed because of this high secretions or increased secretions of serum calciums. Once we are neglected this condition, the person may go into bad condition or it is a life-threatening condition. Okay, next, increased calcium in the kidneys may lead to renal calculi or kidney stones. Increased calcium levels in the small intestine may lead to gastrointestinal upset. Increased bone resorption may lead to bone damage and osteoporosis. And other symptoms are part of what is known as the bones and groans, that is stones and bones. Then hyperparathyroidism classification, that is primary. In previous slides we are discussed about primary hyperparathyroidism, now secondary hyperparathyroidism. Okay, secondary hyperparathyroidism occurs when the glands are hyperplastic because of malfunction of another organ system. Usually the cause is renal failure or hyperphosphatemia. Okay, first of all we have to know the what is primary and what is secondary. Primary hyperthyroidism may result from the only the cause is the parathyroid glands secretes high levels or low levels of parathyroid hormone, but here secondary, and that directly the parathyroid gland is not affected, but these other organs are affected because of other organ. If they are affected, again they affect this hyperparathyroidism or a thyroid system. Okay, secondary occurs when the glands are hyperplastic because of malfunction of another organ system. Usually the cause is renal failure or hyperphosphatemia. Okay, this is known as hyperparathyroidism, secondary hyperparathyroidism. Okay, the person will get primary hyperthyroidism if the parathyroid gland system is not functioned well. But here the person gets secondary hyperthyroidism because of renal failure or hyperphosphatemia. Okay, then compensatory response to chronic hypocalcemia, vitamin D deficiency, malabsorption, results of renal failure and hyperphosphatemia. These are the causes of developing a secondary hyperparathyroidism. Then pathophysiology of this hyperparathyroidism. Normal function of parahormone is to increase bone reabsorption, thereby maintaining proper balance of calcium and phosphorus ions in the blood. Okay, what is the normal function of this PTH hormone? It increases the bone reabsorption. Okay, once the bone reabsorption is increased, it may lead to maintaining proper balance of calcium and phosphorus ions in the blood. If this PTH hormone maintains calcium and phosphorus ions in the blood, the person, they will not suffer any tumors or anything about related to parathyroid hormone. Okay, excessive circulating PTH leads to bone damage, hypercalcemia and kidney damage. If the parathyroid hormone is in normal level, they maintain the calcium phosphorus ions in the blood. At that time, there is no chance to develop this renal calculi, gastrointestinal upset like that, osteoporosis and bone damage. But once there is a excessive circulating PTH leads to bone damage, hypercalcemia and kidney damage. Then clinical manifestations of hyperparathyroidism. Skeletal diseases, that is backache, joint pain, bone pain, pathological fracture of spine, ribs and long bones. Then renal involvement, polyuria, polydipsia, appearance of sand, gravel or stones in the urine, agitomia and hypertension. Then GI manifestation, thirst, nausea, anorexia, constipation, abdominal pain, peptic ulcer, GI bleeding and pancreatitis. Psychiatric manifestations, listlessness, lethargy, fatigue, depression, memory loss, confusion, stupor, coma, depression, paranoia or sometimes associated with the high calcium levels. These are the clinical manifestations related to different systems. Skeletal system, okay, backache, joint pain, bone pain, pathological fracture of spine, ribs and long bones. Renal involvement ఉన్నప్పుడు polyuria, polydipsia, appearance of sand, gravel or stones in the urine, agitomia, hypertension. GI manifestations వచ్చేసరికి thirst, nausea, anorexia, constipation, abdominal pain, peptic ulcer, GI bleeding and pancreatitis. Psychiatric manifestations like listlessness, lethargy, fatigue, depression, memory loss, confusion, stupor, coma, depression, paranoia or sometimes associated with high calcium levels. Okay, you know, after these clinical manifestations, how this endocrine system is very, very important. This endocrine system affects the person's health and it may lead to sometimes we are neglected, the persons may develop different types of complications. Okay, but once we are identified these clinical manifestations, care is very, very important for these conditions. Then clinical manifestations, decreased neuromuscular irritability, decreased deep tendon reflexes, muscle weakness and atrophy. Then hyperthyroidism assessment, decreased deep tendon reflexes, CNS changes, headache, drowsiness, fatigue, muscle weakness and atrophy. Then hyperparathyroidism assessment, diagnostic test, increased serum calcium, decreased serum phosphate, increased serum PTH levels, X-rays, bone demineralization, ultrasound or MRI of glands. Medical surgical management, to lower elevated calcium levels by hydration and calciuria. Lasix to promote calciuria after rehydration has occurred. Lasix is a loop diuretic IV saline solutions both expands volume and acts in the kidney to inhibit the reabsorption of calcium. Diet low in calcium and vitamin D. Oral or IV phosphates, that is anti-resorption agents, calcitonin, methacillin, gallium nitrate, glucocorticoids decrease GI absorption of calcium. This is the medical management of hyperparathyroidism. To lower elevated calcium levels by hydration and calcium, we can maintain this condition. Lasix is important to promote the calciuria. IV saline solutions. Then diet low in calcium and vitamin D. Oral or IV phosphates. Anti-resorption agents like calcitonin, methacillin, gallium nitrate, glucocorticoids decrease GI absorption of the calcium. Then hyperparathyroidism medical management continues. What is the goal of this medical management means? Goal is to lower severely elevated calcium levels. Long-term management of hypercalcemia with drugs to increase bone reabsorption of the calcium. Then hyperparathyroidism medical surgical management. Secondary disease, calcium supplements and vitamin D. Tertiary diseases को phosphate binders, amphogel and pasogel comes dual action, just one tablet. Okay. Then surgical management. Parathyroidectomy, removal of the parathyroid glands or parathyroid tumors. Parathyroid glands resection. Okay. Surgical management is a parathyroidectomy. Then nursing management. Okay. Nursing diagnosis, high risk for injury related to demineralization of bones resulting in pathological fractures. Then can to prevent accidents, space activities, so encourage weight bearing 30 minutes, avoid high impact activities or sports. Home should be clear of article that can increase risk of falling such as throw runs and conflict. Then impaired urinary elimination. Yes, this renal system is involved. Encourage fluids 2 to 300 ml per day. Prevent urolithiasis. Cranberry juice helps in making urine more acidic, which helps in preventing renal stone formation as calcium is more soluble in acidic urine than in alkaline urine. Then impaired urinary elimination related to renal involvement secondary to hypercalcemia and hyperphosphaturia resulting in urolithiasis, painful urination, hematuria and spasms. Imbalanced nutrition less than body requirements related to anorexia resulting decreased food intake and weight loss. Low calcium diet to correct hypercalcemia. Antacids for clients with peptic ulcer. Diet high in calories without dairy products. Then constipation related to adverse effects of hypercalcemia on GI tract resulting in decreased frequency of stools and painful defecation. Add fiber to diet. Increase fluid intake. Use stool softness or laxatives. Knowledge deficit related to dietary changes. Low calcium diet, limit milk products. Risk for renal stones. Increased fluid intake. Encourage cranberry or prune juice. Assess for flank pain, hematuria. Nursing management of surgical gland. Monitor for post-operative complications. Hemorrhage, airway obstruction, recurrent injury or to laryngeal nerve. Eat foods high in calcium. Encourage ambulation as soon as after surgery as weight bearing exercises speeds renal calcification. Okay. This is about hypoparathyroidism. Okay, what is parathyroid glands? Under these glands are situated in posterior surface of the thyroid gland. Each gland size is about 30 milligrams and 3 to 4 millimeters. They produces parathormone, that is PTH. Regulates calcium and phosphorus in blood. Calcium levels major controlling factors. Parathyroid glands with parathyroid functions. It is a protein hormone. They regulates calcium and phosphorus metabolism. The increased secretion of parathormone reduces the kidney stones and raised calcium levels in the blood. Then tends to lower, if the parathormone also tends to lower the blood phosphorus level. Okay, excess parathormone can result in elevated levels of serum calcium. Okay, when the product of serum calcium and serum phosphorus rises, calcium phosphate may precipitate in various organs of the body and cause tissue calcification. Okay, the serum levels of ionized calcium regulates the output of parathormone. Okay, increased serum calcium result in decreased parathormone secretion, creating a negative feedback. Functions of these are the functions of parathormone. Low concentration of calcium in blood ఉన్నప్పుడు release of parathyroid hormone. ఒకవేళ decreased loss of calcium in urine ఉన్నప్పుడు increased concentration of calcium in the blood. This enhanced absorption of calcium from the intestine. Then calcium for this bone. అంటే సిస్టమ్స్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ జిఐ సిస్టమ్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ ఉంటుంది, స్కెలిటల్ సిస్టమ్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి హైపర్ థైరాయిడిజం అంటే ఏమంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓవర్స్ యాక్టివిటీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ హైపర్ థైరాయిడ్ గ్లాండ్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ హైపర్ పారాథైరాయిడిజం. ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ అంటే కామన్ ఇన్ 60 years, అబోవ్ more than 60 years. Then females are more prone to get this hyperparathyroidism than males. Then hyperparathyroidism, which is caused by overproduction of parathyroid hormone by the parathyroid glands, is characterized by bone decalcification and the development of renal calculi containing calcium. Then hyperparathyroidism classification: primary hyperparathyroidism and secondary hyperparathyroidism. Primary hyperparathyroidism is a tumor of the parathyroid gland, hyperplasia adenoma. Then వచ్చేసి increased calcium in it is primary hyperthyroidism లో increased calcium in the kidneys ఉన్నప్పుడు it may lead to kidney stones. Increased calcium in the small intestine ఉన్నప్పుడు it may lead to gastrointestinal upset. Increased bone resorption ఉన్నప్పుడు it may lead to bone damage and osteoporosis. Then hyperparathyroidism classification లో secondary అంటే other than this hyperparathyroid glands ఉంటే it is called secondary, like renal system and hyperphosphatemia. Then what are the compensatory response to this chronic hypercalcemia and vitamin D deficiency, malabsorption, results of renal and hyperphosphatemia. Then pathophysiology. Once this PTH hormone is normal in the blood, it may maintain the calcium and phosphorus ions in the blood. ఒకవేళ excessive circulate ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ it may lead to bone damage, kidney damage and GI upset ఉంటుంది. Clinical manifestations లో different types of systems like skeletal, renal, GI and psychiatric manifestations. Clinical manifestations లో other neuromuscular, tendon reflexes, weakness and atrophy. Hyperparathyroidism లో చూసుకోవాలి, సిఎన్ఎస్ చేంజెస్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయేమో చూసుకోలేక హెడ్ఏక్, డ్రౌజినెస్, ఫెటిక్, మజిల్ వీక్నెస్ అండ్ అట్రోపీ. హైపర్ పారాథైరాయిడిజంలో ఇంక్రీజ్ సీరం కాల్షియం, డిక్రీజ్ సీరం ఫాస్ఫేట్స్, ఇంక్రీజ్ సీరం పీటీహెచ్ లెవెల్స్, ఎక్స్రేస్, బోన్, అల్ట్రాసౌండ్, ఎంఆర్ఐ. మెడికల్ సర్జికల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్కి వచ్చేసరికి దిస్ క్యాల్షిటోనిన్, మిథాసిన్. నెక్స్ట్ హైడ్రేషన్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టు లోయర్ ద కాల్షియం లెవెల్స్ ఈజ్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. డైట్ లో ఇన్ కాల్షియం అండ్ వైటమిన్ డి ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇన్ మెడికల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. దెన్ అదర్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ లో మెడికల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ లో వాట్ ఈస్ ద గోల్ ఆఫ్ మెడికల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ మీన్స్ టు లోయర్ ద ఎలివేటెడ్ కాల్షియం లెవెల్స్. Then if the patient is having renal calculi, long-term management is important with the drugs. Then secondary disease, tertiary disease lo what is the treatment? Surgical management lo parathyroidectomy is important. Then nursing management is very very important, like ఏమంటే pre-operative management, intra and post-operative management if the patient is posted for surgery. Okay, if the patient is not posted for surgery, common nursing management is very very important based on the complications and clinical manifestations. Okay, high risk for injury, one diagnosis. Impaired elimination, other diagnosis. Imbalanced nutrition is other diagnosis. Constipation is one diagnosis. Then what are the risk for renal stones? ఏవేవంటే ఇంక్రీజ్ ఫ్లూయిడ్ ఇంటేక్ తీసుకోవడం వల్ల renal calcification తగ్గించవచ్చు. అసెస్ ఫర్ ఫ్లాంక్ పెయిన్ ఉందా, హెమచురీ అసెస్ చేసుకోవాలి. పోస్ట్ ఆపరేటివ్ వచ్చేసి హెమరేజ్, ఎయిర్వే అబ్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఉందేమో చూసుకోవాలి. రికరెంట్ ఇంజురీస్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయేమో చూసుకోవాలి, బ్లీడింగ్ చూసుకోవచ్చు. ఆల్ పోస్ట్ ఆపరేటివ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ లైక్ జనరల్ పోస్ట్ ఆపరేటివ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అలాంగ్ విత్ జనరల్ పోస్ట్ ఆపరేటివ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ we have to follow special surgical management related to this parathyroidectomy surgery. Okay. Tomorrow we will discuss about hypoparathyroidism. Today already we are discussed about hyperparathyroidism. Okay. Students, if you have any disturbance between the class, you read the PPTs. If my voice is not clear, if you are not understand my voice, if there is any disturbance in between the class like any sounds and you are receiving other person voice means you read the PPT, no problem. This is because medical and surgical nursing. I hope you are very well understood about this hyperparathyroidism. If you have any doubts, you read in medical surgical nursing textbook. Okay students, thank you. Tomorrow we will discuss about hypoparathyroidism. Okay, thank you.